So, when I watched this, I watched it by myself with headphones so I could warn Hector about jump scares because he really hates jump scares. And I was about two-thirds through the movie, and I told Hector, don't worry, the jump scares aren't that bad. And not 5 minutes later, not only did I jump and audibly yelp, I nearly shat myself.
Welcome to ReShoot, amateurs in no suits. Too many movies to explore. Ruthie, Hector, and Ed, laughter till the end. Let's see something never done before.
Hello, everyone, and welcome
Hello.
to ReShoot.
Welcome to ReShoot, an amateur's guide to gooder film.
I am one of your hosts, Ed.
I am another one of your hosts, Ruthie.
Hector is missing.
Yes.
We
He
filed a
was
missing persons report.
Yes, I last saw him in my living room. There's now just a pile of homework on top of where he was. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I also watched this movie alone with headphones
Mm-hmm.
at night with
Yeah.
my lights turned off.
Mm-hmm. It's not great.
Horror movies don't usually do this to me, but this one kind of unsettled me.
Yeah. I
Yep.
enjoyed it though, honestly. I really liked it, and then Hector watched it a couple nights later because we were gonna record today. We knew that in advance, and it was day before Halloween, and we were talking about watching a horror movie on Halloween because we did that last year and it was super fun and we didn't have trick-or-treaters. And he watched it. I had to warn him about all the jump scares, and he's like, I can't do this. I can't do this tomorrow too. I can't I can't bring myself to it. But he and I both agree. We really liked the movie.
Yeah, I also like the movie. Some parts of it, at least.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't like. I think 35 minutes in is when I stopped enjoying myself.
Was that when Benji was having his 5 minute panic attack on screen? Because that got
Yes.
me.
Speaking of spooky noises,
Yeah, it's my ghost. It's fine.
yeah, As Above, So Below is the
Yes.
movie.
Oh, and Ed, so the title in Spanish, I figured you would like this. Translated title is Así en la tierra como en el infierno. So it would have spoiled the fact that they went to hell. That's why I was like, don't look at the Spanish poster.
Así como en la tierra, en el infierno.
Como en el infierno.
Así en la tierra como en el infierno.
Sí.
Okay. Yeah. That's the literal translation back to English is
As on
as
Earth.
in earth, so in hell.
Yes.
As on earth, so in hell, yeah. Wow. Such a deep, that's one of my favorite things is translating something from English to Spanish in how it would be Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
and then translating directly from Spanish back to English is completely different.
Yeah, or literal translations versus
Versus what the meaning of what you're trying to say translations.
yeah. Oh, I love honestly, yeah, no, that is always fun when you're like, well, if you're translating the meaning, it's this, but if it's literally, it's this.
This, yeah. We.
Ha
Yeah,
ha.
there's people with French accents in this movie. Oh, do you want to start?
Well, I wasn't
Yours the Cesar.
I am the César, and I was going to offer, did you
Cesar.
want to go first? Do you want
I'll,
to tell us what you enjoyed about the movie? I know
I'll
you
go
have thoughts and
first.
feelings.
Yeah. One thing I didn't like about this movie that I liked from the Descent is that the people, a lot of the what is it? It's what are their names? It's Benji, the girl, and then the Benji,
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet, and George are not experienced cavers. And yeah, I guess it's a little bit different because they're in the catacombs, not in the cave like in the Descent. But I don't know. I feel like they should be at least with Scarlet. It's shown that she did that little cave thing in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a little bit of experience, but I don't know. George and Benji, like
She's kind of just like
she's a spelunker.
boneheaded.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, she's just adventurous. She's like, I
yeah,
can't sit still. I got bullshit to do.
yeah. I don't know. That's just one thing that kind of bugged me because they do get Papillon and the other two
Hmm.
to go with them, and they're actually like experienced in like diving through these catacombs and stuff. Yeah, I liked all the characters, most of them at least. The
Who didn't
other
you
guy that
like?
survived, we learned
Zed.
we almost learned nothing from him. But yeah, I actually did like most of the characters. I will say that actually. Yeah, all pretty believable. Things I Oh yeah, and the story was I really liked the story, even though it was unsettling as hell in like the environment that I chose to watch it in. But I really liked it. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the going backwards through the cave system again, super cool. That was so interesting.
Yeah.
Um, what else? Oh god. So George, I hate this fucking trope or
Uh
whatever
huh.
when they're like it's George and Scarlet and
Hmm.
Zed, and like George's like whatever happens, that's 2 weeks in Turkey were the best of my life, and I'm like, oh, you could save that for later. Also, like at the moment in time, not the time and place right there, George. Like you almost literally just died, so like I can
Can
understand, but still
can I make a counterpoint?
counterpoint.
The whole point of the movie was them coming to terms with the best part of themselves and being honest both with themselves and with like who they are, both to themselves and to other people. I feel like
Mm,
that made sense.
that did make sense. Yeah, actually, now that you mention it like that, correct. Yeah, like one of the major points is like coming to terms with like because they all had something that they all had some kind of trauma that they brought with them there that was unresolved for all of
Hmm.
them, except for I think Benji and
No,
the other girl.
Benji and Suxi, it's implied that they had something. Benji, especially, we never got to find out what Suxi's thing
Mm.
was. We are kind of told what Papillon's is. His is pretty obvious from the
Hmm.
context clues.
And from when he dies,
That's the context clue.
yeah. Mm.
But
And then we get
there's a couple other hints. Did you pick up the Dante's Inferno
yeah,
comparison?
yeah. I kind of did.
So the floor that Suxi died on was the level of hell associated with violence. So everyone assumes that Suxi killed somebody, and that was her punishment.
Mm.
And Benji, the YouTube video that I saw that was about as above so below, he said that Benji had a wife and child that he also didn't talk to, like he abandoned his child as well. But
Oh.
he died on the floor of fraud, and the baby that the woman shoves in his face before he dies doesn't look like him, and the baby looks like it's dead. I think he scammed this woman. Like he might have said like, "Oh, I'll make a documentary about you." And then
Mm.
like something happened there, like he stole, like some kind of fraud happened, but it's never implied,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
it's never like clearly spoken out.
Yeah. But then we got Scarlet with her dad, George with his little brother,
Mhm.
Zed with he tells us what it is,
Yeah.
but we do get a lot of clues throughout because we hear a baby crying, and then Papillon with the car.
And the person that tells Scarlet to seek out Papillon to find the to get into the catacombs.
Oh yeah, that dude. Was he a ghost or what?
Yes.
He was a ghost.
He and the woman that was chasing Benji, she popped up as they were entering the club. She was
Yeah,
leaving. She was leading the church service in the catacombs.
yeah.
And yeah, she was following around Benji.
But why?
Because it's hell.
Because it's hell. Yeah.
The explanation that the video that I saw, shout out Found Flicks, thank
Mm.
you for explaining the movie. The explanation that he gave is like, because Scarlet ends up with the Philosopher's Stone, it's like the Philosopher's Stone is retroactively making sure that she will have the Philosopher's Stone. I think that's what he was saying, or maybe
Oh,
I'm
that's
inserting that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. When she mentioned the Philosopher's Stone, I'm just like, oh, Full Metal Alchemist.
Hector also mentioned, like, oh, Full Metal Alchemist. It's easy to make a Philosopher's Stone
Yeah.
if you're not a coward.
In Full Metal Alchemist, it takes a lot of human souls to make a Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Like,
If you're not a coward.
if you're not a coward. It's a lot, though. Um, but yeah, I I don't deal well with enclosed spaces.
This one got me.
Yeah, I okay. So like Ruthie, you and I, we listen to the Magnus archives. I want to start listening to their other new thing. Anyways, shouldn't have said that. Should have just continued. Magnus archives. They have these entities that are based on basically base fears, more or less.
Yeah.
And one of them is the buried.
And the fears can be like very literal, or they can be very esoteric. So
Yes.
there's like one episode where they're talking about the buried, but the person's not buried literally. It's
No.
they're being buried in like a mountain of debt.
Yes.
But this is very literal. The buried.
Yeah, and like because also with the buried, there's also like literally being buried under dirt, or it's also can be water as well, being buried underwater and all of that.
Sometimes the vast would
The
also.
vast would also, yeah, but there is that one. Oh god, because every time they set a story that involved the buried, I was always very unsettled, and I did not like listening to it.
Lost John's Cave.
Yes, okay, but the one that's really stuck in my mind was in the final season when he's talking about that guy that's buried alive, or it's like in the buried area. I forget what they call it.
Yeah.
And there's just all these
Domain.
people. Domain. There's all these people buried, and then it rains. So like when the rain comes down, it like gets rid of all of the trace of like which way is up and all that. So when they get to the part in the movie where they're like in the catacombs, they have to go under water while also being a pretty small place to swim through underground.
It
I
just.
paused the movie and I did not want to deal with it.
Is that when you texted me?
Yeah, where I'm like, nope, 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 I can't. Fortunately,
I didn't
it
think the
was like,
underwater was going to set you off that much. Otherwise, I would have warned you, because I did watch it before you watched it, because I knew you didn't like enclosed spaces,
yeah,
and I was thinking like maybe I should warn Ed about the 5-minute panic attack where Benji's stuck, but then it slipped my mind,
hmm
and I didn't even think about the
so
underwater
the
bit.
Benji part was really rough. I was actually like, I kept hitting the fast forward 5 seconds button every like
And it kept
couple
going.
seconds because I'm like, I don't want to. Nope, nope, please stop.
Yeah.
uh, it is a very good scene if you're into that. Very cool. I'm not into it. I didn't like it, but yeah, the underground stuff really, I like. It gets me just like, I feel that I handle stress very well, or I have a high stress tolerance. That shit piqued me immediately. I'm just like,
0 to
nope, I can't
10.
handle this. Luckily, it was only like a 1 minute sequence. We
Yeah.
didn't have to experience it with every character going underwater. Just Scarlet, but I still did not like it.
Yeah, see, that's why when you texted me, I was like, I didn't even register it because it wasn't like a trigger for me. So I'm like, what? They were underwater for like what expended? There's like the bit where Scarlet dives underwater, but then she comes back out immediately.
Yeah, again, I paused it right before she went underwater
Yeah.
because I was like, no. Yeah, and honestly, I didn't think it would pique me like immediately, but just like it just did, and I'm like,
No, that's fair.
because I remember watching a movie. I
Well,
forget
in the
what
Descent, they
it's.
had cave diving too.
But there wasn't water.
Yeah, there was.
Did they have to go underwater at some point?
Yeah.
When?
When before they find out that the cave is a brand new cave, before Sam goes through the bit where she loses the rope bag, there's a part where they have to cave dive.
Oh, I must have blocked it out of my memory.
Or maybe you looked away at the right
Or maybe
second.
yeah. Or
Because it
also I was watching The Descent with my friend also. So like,
Oh, that'll do it too, yeah.
yeah. And I watched that movie twice or almost three times actually. So maybe I was desensitized to it. Either
And they
way, I
didn't
don't.
film underwater either. It was just like,
Oh,
oh, they come out of
they
the
go
water.
underwater and then they come back out. Yeah,
Yeah.
this one they filmed underwater, which. Hmm.
Yeah.
But also, I also think that this one also just had a better job at just like making me unsettled before the scene even happened. So I was maybe already a little bit on edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Buried is literally like the scariest one for me. I can't
Valid.
handle it. I can't handle it. Anyways, I kind of went through like just the likes and dislikes back and forth.
Yeah.
And honestly, I honestly wouldn't change the movie at
Really?
all.
Not even a
No.
little bit.
I mean, yeah, because I had a hard time even just like thinking of anything to do with this movie. But because it's so good, honestly.
I had a hard time coming up with fixes too.
Yeah.
This is great podcasting.
This is great podcasting for our specific podcast about
Yes.
making movies objectively better.
Objectively
Objectively,
better.
this is I think one of the ones where it's going to be objectively worse,
Okay,
just
well,
in general.
if you could make it objectively worse, let's play this game. How would you make it worse? Turn it into a
Oh,
dumpster fire.
turn it into a dumpster fire.
Maybe we'll find a way to fix it by making it worse. Maybe we have to dive deeper before we can ascend back. Oh wait, we're still in hell. This is Paris.
This is Paris. I don't. The thing is, I don't even have anything. I don't. Ruthie, I literally couldn't think of anything.
You couldn't think of anything to make it worse either?
Worse or good.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty like I don't know. Like the only thing I could do is like make it more like make it different, more interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
With like
Okay, let's do that.
with like a or just stupid. I guess I could make it worse that her dad was wrong. That's
There
one of
was
the
no
things that I was
philosopher's stone. She's just
that's what
here.
that's what I would like. One of the things that I thought of is just like, oh, what if like her dad was actually crazy? Because that's the thing that they talk about, and that's the thing that like they question her sanity also.
So what's the
And it was
explanation for all the
so
weird shit in the catacomb? Is it just
they just
everybody's high
they just
on sewer
accidentally
fuel?
they just accidentally stumble into hell.
Hell's just under Paris.
Yeah, oh, but then again, yeah, like, no, you see that would make it worse. That her dad was actually crazy. They go to the place, they like some of it is true. Like they find that little like Egyptian little rolling stone block thing, but then they get to the place and there's just nothing there. And yeah, and then they just accidentally stumble into hell, and that would be a funny, stupid reason of like how they got there.
Yeah?
But yeah, again, I just really liked how the movie progressed. And they go forwards into the place, and then they stumble into hell, and then they go backwards. It's
Can
so
I
good.
can I share a gripe with you?
Yes.
So there's a point about halfway through when they're actually like when they're like, oh haha, that's what's supposed to be on the gate of hell.
Mm.
That's when they're like halfway through. I'll spoil one of my fixes. That should have been like on the bad chain, like on top of the little thing that they go through at the very least. The very
The
least.
wait, hold up. Yeah, because they find the inscription of abandoned all hope, ye who enter here.
Yeah. But that's technically that's when they enter hell, but they already were experiencing like some of this hell stuff when they entered that specific tunnel.
Mm. And this was after they found the dead guy.
This is after they found the dead guy.
Okay, yeah.
This is after they find. This is after they get the fake philosopher's stone. This
Mm-hmm.
is yeah, right
Is,
before
is
Suxi dies.
right before Suxi dies.
Yeah, which
Oh,
is
right. That's
the
right. Yeah, that
sixth
happens.
layer of hell.
The sixth.
Yeah,
Do they go like actually like layer by layer?
yeah. According to Found Flicks, I think the
Mm-hmm.
YouTube name. Yes. So the first layer where they find La Taupe, that's purgatory, and then they descend. Papillon dies in layer 10, betrayal.
Mm.
And then they're able to escape eventually.
Yeah. They are able to escape while they're in layer 10,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to go all the way through hell to be able to escape, which is another part of Dante's Inferno.
Mm-hmm. Dante's an. Oh, God damn it. Sorry.
You ruined it. Now we have to start all over again. 25 minutes.
Um. Speaking of Dante's Inferno, Dante's a terrible person.
Wait,
And
Dante
Dante?
of Dante's Inferno, or are you
Yeah.
talking about?
I think isn't he a bad person?
I thought he just wanted to go see his dead girlfriend and rescue her out of hell.
Because he left for war,
Is leaving for
and then his
war?
girlfriend like made a deal
Uh huh.
that he would stay faithful, and he didn't, and that's why she
Oh,
goes to hell.
what a hoe!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Maybe it's from the video game specifically, but
It's from
I'm
Devil
pretty
May
sure.
Cry.
No, there's a game
I'm
called
kidding. I'm
Dante's
kidding.
Inferno, but yeah, I don't know. That's what I remember at least. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I couldn't
Fact
tell
check
you.
me.
I couldn't tell you. I'm mostly familiar with Dante's Inferno because I am obsessed with the Cartoon Network short series Over the Garden Wall, which is also inspired
Oh
off of Dante's
yeah,
Inferno.
I saw a little bit of Over the Garden
It's
Wall.
so good.
Mm-hmm.
Inject that wholesome shit into my veins.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um. I had an idea,
Oh,
and then I forgot.
is it based off of what you told me just now about Dante?
No.
Scarlet condemned Georgie to a Turkish prison and then cheated on him.
Honestly, it's. Oh well, I guess. Speaking of the 10th layer being betrayal,
Mm-hmm.
I would think that that's when. Well, Georgie almost died in betrayal
Yeah.
because he felt betrayed by Scarlet after he went to Turkish prison for what was it, a week?
I don't know how long he was in Turkish jail.
Jail, yeah. But the thing is that she abandoned him basically,
Yeah?
and then he went to jail because of that
Yeah?
in Turkey. But yeah, I don't know. It's all honestly pretty good for me. Uh, and yeah, the only way I would make it worse is that like her dad was wrong and she was actually just kind of crazy.
Okay, here's how you make it worse.
Borrowing from Dante's Inferno.
Okay.
Maybe he kind of like notices that he does have like a depression disorder, and then he kind of makes a deal with the devil, saying, "I know Scarlet will always be there for me." And then when Scarlet doesn't pick up the phone, the deal goes awry, and then he dies,
Oh.
and then this is kind of like her dad was wrong about the Philosopher's Stone, but they have to
This
go
is the
through hell
test.
because Scarlet didn't pick up the phone. Basically,
Oh.
almost like like the Dante's Inferno thing. And yeah, they get there. They're like, she's looking for the Philosopher's Stone on the ship, but they don't find it. And then when they try to turn around, it caves in, and then they have to go through hell. And then I guess it would revolve more around Scarlet. Scarlet's being more targeted than all the other people, but everyone else is also targeted. I would also make it clear what trauma Benji and the other girl are
Suxi.
actually going through. Yeah. Also, just delete the mole, the other
La
dude that
taupe.
shows up. What?
La taupe.
Latop? Just delete. I don't like him at all.
Yeah,
Stupid.
because he's supposed to be kind of like a Virgil figure, but he's not a Virgil figure.
Nope. Just get him out of there. Is not needed. Yep. But yeah, that I couldn't think of anything to make it worse or better. It's a pretty solid movie.
I thought of a way to make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
You have Scarlett's dad and Georgie's little brother actively pursuing the group, like trying to be like, what the fuck, you killed me, like your actions directly, I'm in hell now, you sent me to hell. I
Do
feel
you
like that would actively make
do
the
you
movie worse.
think the dad and the brother are actually in hell, or is that just hell fucking with them?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think the kid is. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's in Christianity, Catholicism. Uh, what how Scarlett's father died. I think it.
He hung himself.
Yeah,
You see it
I
in
think
Iran.
I think that's a sin.
It depends
It
on.
depends.
It depends. I think
Mm,
in Catholicism, it is considered a sin to
yeah.
go through with that kind of action. In Protestantism, like a lot of other denominations, it's not considered a sin.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I just remember watching a movie where they talked about that, and they said the quote guaranteed spot in hell
yeah,
if you do that,
yeah,
which is kind of
super fucked up.
gross. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really dumb in my opinion.
yeah.
Because like I don't know, like I don't know how it is, but like sometimes people, or I recently experienced something where somebody accidentally killed themselves. Oh my
Flames,
god.
flames on the side of my face.
What?
Have you not seen Clue?
Clue? No, I haven't.
We can't do this movie on the podcast because it's so good. Okay, it
uh,
came out in the 80s. So here's the fun fact about Clue. I don't know if I'll keep this bit in, but there when the movie came out, there's 3 endings. So
mm.
different movie theaters got different endings, and you didn't know which ending you got. And it's Clue. It's based off the
Yeah.
video game. You're finding out who the murderer is. And we have the DVD, or I can't remember if I brought it when I moved or if my mom still has it. But you can watch all 3 versions of the ending. But yeah, you'd be like, oh, this character did it with this weapon in this room.
Yeah.
And technically,
Yeah.
you have 3 options, and they're all right.
So with the clues that they give you in the movie Clue, it could have been any of those 3.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, because it's like the last like 10 minutes of the
Oh,
movie,
that's different.
and then the character will reveal themselves, and then they'll show, here's all the clues that could have been this
Oh.
character.
Oh, okay. Oh wow, they did a lot of edits to make
Oh,
3 different
so
versions of
good.
it. What the fuck? That's insane. Wow, that's
Now I
a
want to watch Clue again, man.
dang. Yeah. I will say one last thing about this movie that I
Uh-huh.
oh, actually there's a big fix.
Oh,
Don't make this didn't need to be found footage. Found footage. It added nothing. I mean, it added to claustrophobia, but it didn't need to be at all.
that's
Like,
interesting because you wanted the Descent to be found footage. That was
that's
actually the first
true.
thing I noted down in
That's
my likes.
true. That is true. That is true. But
Why did this one? Why is it that
because there
Descent
are no
needed that treatment?
monsters.
No monsters.
Yeah.
But there are oh, with your fixes you wouldn't.
No, I'm just saying in this one there are no monsters. It's just wibbly wobbly shit with hell.
What about the statues that eat
Oh
George's
my
neck?
god, I totally forgot about them. But it's not a big part of the movie, is what I'm saying. I'm saying I think with a standard filming technique, you could probably portray this hell going through the rings of hell a little bit better, in my
Mm.
opinion. Because then you could like do some really cool shit of like when they're going down through stuff while they're
Mm-hmm.
already in hell. You can have like a kind of like a cross section, very
And you can
wide shot,
show.
and you can show this like little red line going through of like, oh, they're going passing another layer, and then another one, because it wasn't very like, yeah, I recognize while watching the movie that there are that there's the 9 or 10 layers, right? And I kind of recognize that they were kind of going just deeper and
Loosely,
deeper
yeah. But it was
into
hard to
hell.
keep track of everything. I couldn't
Yeah.
keep track of it.
So like I think with a standard technique, you could do like what I just imagined in my head is just like a very far out cross section of them going down, and then
Mm-hmm.
just like a little like another layer there, and then just do that every time they go through a section. And then obviously there's what, 6 of them there?
Yeah, there's 6.
There's 6. So they could
6
only
characters.
I guess they would get a free pass for the first 4 layers where nobody dies, and
Mm-hmm.
then I would kill one person every layer until the end.
Damn.
Yeah,
Who
I don't
would
think
Scarlet be the last one?
yeah, but I don't think anybody would get out.
Oh, so
In
everybody
my
would die.
Yeah,
Damn. Brutal.
I think Scarlet will like be the one to recognize that like to have a chance of getting out, you have to like uh like what you said, like come to terms with the trauma that they came in, but it's just too late for her at the end. She finally realizes it, but she's in the 10th layer. Yeah.
Damn.
There we go. I just had to talk about it and then wing it.
Talking helps.
Yeah, wing it.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it.
All right. Since Hector's not here, it falls to me. What I liked about this movie, my first like, word for word. It's kind of funny that Ed's fix for the Descent is the main difference of this film to the previous one that we did.
Yeah.
I didn't hate the found footage thing. Also, I think the reason that they did found footage is they actually shot this movie in the Parisian catacombs.
They
And yeah,
actually did.
they did. And they brought a whole ass car into the catacombs and set it on fire. That was a practical.
How did they get that in the real catacombs?
I
How did
know,
they how did
right?
they let them put a car down there?
They got permission.
Did they pull it out?
I have no idea. I imagine
Because
they did.
well, that's actually a thing that a lot of movie sets do, is they put shit somewhere for a
Uh-huh.
scene and then they abandon it, and that shit stays there.
I don't think they'd have that luxury of anonymity though, because they had to get permission to get into the catacombs.
I know, but like I'm just saying, like, yeah, I guess maybe the catacombs people that like manage that are like, you
Clean
gotta
this
get
shit
this
up.
shit. Yeah, clean this shit up. Get it out of here.
Mm-hmm. My second life, like the Parisian catacombs are cool AF. I went to some catacombs in London when we went last year. I had a grand old time. Hector's not a claustrophobic guy. Luckily, the ones that we went to weren't anything like that. But if I do get a chance to go to Paris, I do want to visit those catacombs. That sounds rad as shit.
Same.
This movie was too claustrophobic. Even I was affected, lovely audience. Benji's 5-minute panic attack sold me. Finally understood the whole claustrophobia thing finally clicked. I've always been like the opposite. I like being snug, but
Yeah,
that
but
was
when
too
you're
snug.
underground,
When you're underground, it's the earth giving you a hug.
it's not a good hug though.
Who said the earth was good at hugging? It's very pointy. The tag on the wall as they enter. Oh yeah, there was a tag. I don't think it was Papillon's tag.
It was Papillon's
Oh,
tag
it was. Yes, when they enter in and
into
Papillon's like, "That's
into
not mine,
the
but that's
for
his."
the
That was
forbidden,
such good
yeah,
shit.
the forbidden. Oh yeah, because when Benji gets stuck in that thing,
Mm-hmm.
in the thing that they're crawling through, and then they just kind of come back
Loop
out the
back.
same way, and then they're like, well, and then it caves in also, so then they have
Mm-hmm.
to go through the forbidden one that Papillon was like warning about,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the one where their friend that's called the mole went
La
through, and he
taupe.
never the top, and he never came out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, wait, what was? Oh yeah, and then they go in there. Papillon said he's never been there, and they find his tag in there, and I'm like,
You
you
bitch.
bitch. But I think that's hell
I thought that
fucking
was
with
hell
them.
fucking with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I what I thought is that Le Taupe did the tag because
But why would La taupe do the tag?
because he's part of Papillon's entourage crew.
But Papillon was the only one doing his own tag. You
Who
know?
knows? Le Taupe probably knew what the tag was like. And he just did it from memory. Maybe, I don't know. But that's probably just how fucking with them.
Yeah. I really liked the bit when they're like first entering that creepy tunnel with the piano and with Scarlett's phone, the phone with Scarlett, and she knows
Oh,
what's going on, and we're all like, "What the hell?" And the piano's in hell, and they're like, or the piano's in the catacomb, and he's like, "Oh, well,
the
we
the
tried to
the
play this
A5
song,
key was
but the
always
A5 key didn't work," and then he starts
okay.
doing it, and he hits the A5. Oh,
Yeah, the piano scene was the very first time I'm like, oh, I don't like this.
wait, that was the first, but that's after Benji's panic attack. That's the second time. You're
Oh
like, I
well,
don't like
like
this.
Benji's panic attack was like, I don't like this because of claustrophobia thing. This
Mm-hmm.
is the first part that started unsettling me about the
Yeah,
movie because
that's the thing.
there's the claustrophobia like hate, and then there's the unsettling
This movie
shit.
does unsettling really well.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're definitely taking advantage of being in the catacombs themselves.
Also, when they were hearing the ringing and Scarlet just runs off ahead of them, I'm like, what are you doing?
She's
Stop.
such an asshole. She does that a couple of times, and I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, chill.
I will say she was kind of badass. Where she like uh George was hurt
Mm-hmm.
and she runs all the way back to put the Philosopher's Stone back,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
and
she
then
ran from 10 all the way
all the way
back
to
up
all the way back
to
up.
5.
Yeah, and then runs from 5 all the way back down to 10.
Although by the time that she gets back from, she starts to come back from 5 to descending from 5 to 10. She found out that the Philosopher's Stone was in her the whole time, so like she's like, "Hell's my
Yeah.
bitch now."
Well, I don't
I
think the
feel like the going
Philosopher's
up
Stone
was
was
badass.
inside her. I think when she moved the Philosopher's Stone from outside of hell into hell, that's when she got it.
So
Because she had to replace it, and
the
then
implication that here's how I understood it: the stone that she grabbed was an actual stone. The stone was fake. That was not. It was a one
oh
time use.
oh,
It
it
was a
wasn't even a
fake
one
out.
time use
No, it was a one
because
time use because Suxi got healed.
I know, but she put her hand over the thing also her wound, and then it healed. But and they thought it was a stone, but it wasn't. It was her hand.
But by putting the stone back, that's how she unlocked it. And the implication that found films. The implication I got from the YouTube video was that Scarlet now, because she had restored her soul in that way. She realized all of her negatives. She'd done all of these things. She was the Philosopher's Stone. The Philosopher's Stone was in her the whole time. Not really, but
Hmm.
pretty much.
I thought the action of returning the stone is what gave her the
That was a
power.
part of it. Yes, yes,
Mm.
that is what like triggered it, but from then on, she had the stone
Mm-hmm.
because the stone was her.
Mm-hmm.
The movie is actually really funny. There was a bunch of times where I would like actually laugh. Like the dialogue did not feel forced. It was really good.
Yeah, the dialogue was not forced. Also, Benji being a bit of a just like checking out all these women and like Scarlett like teasing him about it was also pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Uh, this is gonna sound weird. In the last movie, I talked about like stupid shit horror versus like you set yourself up for this, you totally earned it retribution horror. This is my example of retribution horror because Scarlett absolutely set them up to fail.
Yeah.
She told Papillon there would be treasure, just apropos. Yeah, this is a treasure hunt. So Papillon, when they get to the
Treasure. Treasure
they get
room.
to the level with greed and they see a bunch of treasure and she doesn't think to say, hey Papillon, maybe that's not the real treasure. Maybe the treasure is the friendship that we found along the way here in hell.
Yeah, the One
And
Piece is the friends we made along the way.
yeah, in hell.
I know.
And then they have to actually enter hell, but surprise, they were in hell the whole time. Um
Also, layer 4 is greed. Mm.
yeah. And my last like, so the film could have chosen to sexualize Scarlet, Suxi, and even the naked ladies in the underground church, but it didn't, and I respect that. My dislikes in the movie, I didn't like the first bit with Iran. I don't know, it just had a weird taste in my mouth. Maybe it's with all the like current events lately with what's going on in the Middle East, but
Oh, the first bit with Iran.
with Iran, yeah.
Mm.
Like I felt like it wasn't fully Islamophobic, but I felt or like not Islamophobic, but like like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like it was racist, but I feel like if do you get what I mean? Like it's kind of
Yeah,
like
I understand, but like,
side eye.
uh, because is it Iran that's like being less or more accepting of like women being able to do stuff now, right? Because
Uh,
they're allowed to drive now or something. Is that
so
Iran?
I don't know if that's Iran. I know right now they're protesting. A lot of women in Iran are protesting
The
to not.
hijab.
Yeah, another girl
Yeah.
just got arrested today. Well, I say girl. A woman in university got arrested because she was
Mm.
protesting.
I'm still mad about the girl that died from the protests from her protests.
Mm.
But yeah, like I don't know. It might be a little bit dated because she was like it was like very big thing that it was dangerous for her to be in Iran
Yeah,
alone as a woman, which I guess
it probably still is. Let's be real.
probably still is a little dangerous. But yeah, them like I guess it could be a little bit Islamophobe because they're like blowing up the cave to like
Yeah,
bury it, and it's like some kind of like historical stuff is there, and I guess it
that's the
could.
read I got on it.
It's a little bit because some terrorist organizations did blow up that Buddha statue that was like carved into the side of a mountain that was like I don't know like 15 stories tall or some insane height, and they blew it all up.
That sucks.
So yeah, well there were two of them. There was one that was like really tall and one that was at like 36 feet or something, and they blew both of them up, and it sucks. But yeah, I that's the read I got, but I don't know if that's what they were going for.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
just felt a little
Eh,
not
yeah.
tactless, but
Yeah,
tacky.
it's a little odd.
Yeah.
It didn't really bother me too much, but yeah, it was a little odd.
Also, another dislike. Scarlett's an asshole, man. Roping in Georgie and constantly needling him,
Oh my
forcing him to come
god.
into a cave,
Oh,
knowing
he's
that his brother died in a cave. She's like, no,
yeah.
Georgie, you're gonna come with us. Don't worry about it. It's
No,
fine.
yeah, he's coming with us. He's coming, and every single time George is like, "I don't want to
Yeah,
go."
I'm not going with you. And then later, Benji's like, well, why doesn't he want to show up? And she's like, you be gentle with him. His brother died in a cave. Bitch, you knew that this
Yeah,
whole time. Um,
And I
Papillon,
think Georgie like kind of felt forced
yeah.
because of Scarlett continuing to say he's coming, and also
Hmm.
because he's the only one that could translate the stuff.
Well, and here's the weird thing. I feel like the YouTube video that I watched, it mentioned that sometimes Scarlett kind of felt like a little bit of a Mary Sue because she knew all these languages, but just the one that she needed. That's why she needed Georgie.
Yeah, she didn't
And like,
know.
and she knew Krav Maga, and she had like 3 degrees. She knew everything.
She had what, 2 PhDs and a master's?
Yeah, like
Mm.
3 bachelors, 2 masters, and a PhD.
I don't think she had that many bachelors. I think she had more PhDs than it. Oh no, she must have gotten a bachelor's for all of those. So yeah, because she had 2 PhDs, a master's, and I think 4 bachelor's degrees or something,
Well, you can do
or
one
3.
bachelor and then get a couple
Yeah,
masters, right?
yeah. But it's
And you
usually
could
like,
do, I don't know
so
if you could
yeah, she
double up
had at
on
least had a
PSG.
bachelor's for all
PhD.
3 of the things that she mentioned.
Yeah. She's very, very educated.
Very educated, and
No.
like she mentioned that like she, for her age, like she was raised in a studious household and stuff. So like they explained it away, I think, pretty well.
They kind of hand waved it of,
Yeah,
oh, she's just very educated. She comes from
yeah,
a studious household. But yeah,
yeah,
she does. She's not a Mary Sue because she does have this flaw of like, she kind of uses people.
yeah,
But yeah, she's a lot. You could divvy up all the things that she brings to the table into like several characters. You don't even have to bring in new characters. Just divvy
yeah,
it up to Suxi and Zed because they don't get a lot of characterization,
yeah,
and it'd still be a pretty well-rounded crew.
yeah. But yeah, she
Um,
does have a lot.
she's a lot. She's just a lot. Papillon is supposed to be leading the crew, but again, it's always Scarlet, and Papillon always kind of seems to be kind of lagging behind.
Well, he led them for a little bit, and then once they go into the Forbidden Tunnel is when Papillon's like, I don't want to do anything anymore. And Scar's like, no, we have to keep going deeper.
Yeah, yeah.
We need to go deeper. We have to go back, Kate.
I found the beginning to be a little hokey, just with the Philosopher's Stone stuff. I grew up as a Potterhead, so I'm used to like Philosopher's Stone being bandied around in conversations of like, you know, in Professor Quirrell, the three-headed dog, the room with the floating keys, you know?
Yeah.
So it was hard for me to kind of enter into this movie and take it seriously when they're like, we're going to find the Philosopher's Stone. And I've also seen Full Metal Alchemist, so I'm like, I'm just so steeped in like the fantasy, like,
Yeah.
bit of it. It was hard for me to be like, okay, this movie is positing what if a Philosopher's Stone is like a real thing. And I also was thinking about the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen because I think don't they mention Nicholas
Yes.
Flamel?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, that was where my brain was at, and so it was really hard for me to be like, no, this is supposed to be real life. Stop thinking about a guy with a metal arm and a sick red jacket. Stop it. And I didn't like Papillon's death at first because I was just a little confused, but because
Papillon's death is wild.
it's wild, but it doesn't make sense uh without the knowledge of Dante's Inferno. The way his death worked, if you haven't seen the movie, audience, they get to the 10th level of hell, which is betrayal, and he sees somebody that they saw in the earlier catacombs at the very beginning of the movie who had recommended Scarlet that she should see Papillon. What we didn't know is this person has been dead the whole time. He is in a car that is on fire, and he looks to Papillon. I think he says something, but I don't remember what. And he points at Papillon, and Papillon says, "It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault." Then he starts floating towards the car, and the guy grabs him, and they try to pull him away, but eventually he's sucked in, and the only thing left as the car kind of folds in on itself is his 2 legs sticking out from the ground. And he's like kind of kicking him,
Yeah.
but then he dies.
Yeah, he suffocates.
Which is the most brutal, like,
Yep.
it's the
It's
one that
pretty
icks me out the most of the deaths.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that he died, that is described in Dante's Inferno, especially for the 10th layer of hell. That was their punishment, was to be buried alive with only your feet to your knees sticking up. Oh, also the jump scares were scary. Not that it's a dislike, but like I was trying to calm my husband down. Benji had this was like just 2 minutes. Suxi had just died. I paused the screen with Benji on screen right before he dies, and he asked me how are the jump scares. And I'm like, this movie isn't, surprisingly, it's not very jump scare heavy. It's just unsettling. He leaves the room. He comes back, and then I play the movie again, and Benji gets jump scared, and then and I jump, and I shat myself, and then Benji dies. Anywho, long story short, here's how I'd fix the movie.
Also, I thought there were only 9 circles of hell.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I miscounted. I think it's
Oh,
9 plus purgatory.
No, because what I'm reading is purgatory limbo is the first circle.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the center.
Oh.
So there are 10, just the 10th is the center.
Gotcha. How I would fix this movie, I think I would just tidy up some of the things. Like, I do one of two things with that layer of hell thing, right? The when you enter in hell, woe to all ye who enter here. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. However you translate it. You could do that where it's scrolled in over the tunnel, the forbidden tunnel that Papillon doesn't want to go into. We can say that's Letope's handwriting. Or, for shits and giggles, because it starts with her in Iran, but then you cut, like, as she's like transitioning, she's coming to Paris, have a bit with her, Scarlett, on the plane with Benji, and she makes a gag. They're flying over Paris, they're about to land, she's like, haha, woe to all ye who enter here, we're in Paris, I'm British, I hate the French. So then one could argue, I don't know. Suxi's, I would make the characters' sins not the main three. Well, not. I'd clarify some of these people's sins, right? I would make it more obvious of my interpretation with Benji, where like he made this documentary about this woman, about her story. He had promised her that he would share the funds with her, and her baby would get the money that they need to survive. And at the last minute, he kept the money for himself. That's his sin. He defrauded her of this money that she was owed. Suxi, trying to think, because if she dies on violence, I've been going back and forth about Suxi's death, or like her sin, right? Because she doesn't do anything that's actually violent. I wish that it was like foreshadowed.
Yeah.
Actually, what if she was the one who sealed up the tunnel behind Letope?
And trapped him in there?
The violence wasn't necessarily on Letope, but she knew he would die in there. Eventually.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess, yeah.
I don't know. Hector had a really good one. His fix, he'd kind of mentioned it to me, where she was a music student and her professor had stolen her symphony and was making a lot of money on it, and she just killed him in blind rage. I thought that was really interesting. I didn't want to steal it from him, so I'm giving him credit. Love you, babe. When you listen to this. I'd make Zed's a little bit more clear. Like, maybe as they're traveling down, he's getting a lot of phone calls from his baby mama, and he keeps just decline. And I don't know what else I would do.
Would the 3 still make it out?
I'd keep that, because I do like the way that they survived. Oh, also, another cool thing. Going back to my sorry. The 3 characters that receive GoPro cameras on their heads are the ones that survive. Scarlett, Zed, Georgie.
Well, oh shit. Wait, no, I thought Benji had a camera.
Benji had the man camera.
He had the man camera.
Or he had the main camera.
That's right.
He was gonna have
They don't. They.
Georgie's camera, but then he gave it to Georgie.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I keep calling him Georgie, but he's George.
It's
The only one who
George.
calls him Georgie is Scarlett.
Georgie, because it's cute.
Yeah, it's a good pet name.
Yeah. Yeah,
But yeah.
that's pretty good. I will mention one last thing.
Okay.
How when they escape, I don't know how they filmed or how they got to, because how they escape, they're like upside down,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to go like down to go on top of the earth,
Yeah.
but their feet are like they're reversed, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how they filmed that.
I have no idea how they filmed that.
Because they put their feet over, and then they have to push themselves up a weird way because they're going from one side to the other
one
side.
gravity to another gravity. Yeah, it was so cool. But yeah, how the hell did they film that? Maybe that part was like a set.
Yeah, I think that part was a set, but it's crazy how they made it look like it was them going from one to
That was
the
a
other.
good effect. No matter how they did it.
Yeah,
Somebody sold their soul to the devil to do
it'd be
it,
so weird as
obviously.
an actor to like sit upside down and then film it that way. I'm just curious on how they did that.
Yeah. No, that was a good effect. And the
Yeah.
the ending was kind of funny because like Scarlett and George are just kind of like, oh my god, we survived, and Zed's like, I gotta find my baby.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
So is Zed's uh is Zed's lust? Is that his sin?
I don't know if it's I think
or
it's
is
like
that Benji's? Because no, what circle does Benji die in?
he well technically he gets scared out of fraud, I think it was, and then he lands in, I think it's the 8th or the 9th.
Fraud is the 8th.
Oh, then yeah, he dies in fraud.
He dies in fraud. Okay. And Suxi died in violence.
And she died in violence. Yeah.
Okay. And then Papillon dies in treachery. Is the 9th circle.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the other three make it through the center of hell.
Yeah.
Where the devil is supposed to be. Maybe that's the devil, the guy in the black coat.
Yes, that was the implication. That was the devil.
That was the devil. Interesting.
Which was funny because when I saw that, I didn't realize it was a dude. I thought that was a lady, and I was like, "Oh, is that the lady from the top of the church?
No. Yeah,
is that Benji's the Benji's lady? She's just there." And then the movie was like, the YouTube video was like, "And that dude is probably Satan." I'm like,
"Oh,
did not peg him as a dude." Huh.
Yeah, I understood that they were going through hell, but I never knew about like the whole 9 circles of hell thing that deeply.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I did. I just made the connection that dude in the thing is probably the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you grade this movie? This is a really good movie.
It's an A.
Yeah, this is like an A.
It's an A.
I think it nailed the assignment.
It's so good. Yeah. I don't know. I think I like the subtlety of the 9 circles, but like I would have liked more.
A little bit something, yeah.
A little bit more of just like showing that's what they're going through, but not really, because how I said it is they're just going through another level. But I wouldn't say like what circle of hell they're in. They're just going.
But
deeper
you
and
could
deeper.
I like. People recognize that it was violence in the level that Suxi died, and like in Betrayal where Papillon died, there was like the thing where they pulled from Dante's Inferno. You can pull things to like give audience clues to the audience of what's going on.
Yeah, I just would have liked. I think that aesthetic of like showing them going deeper and deeper would be pretty cool. I don't know. But yeah, it's an A movie. It's really good.
Def.
Yeah. Any media you've consumed recently?
Not consumed recently, but lovely audience, if you are like Ed and you haven't seen Clue, sorry that I spoiled the 3 endings bit, but it's so good. You're still just gonna enjoy it.
You don't know the 3 endings, you just know that there's 3.
And there's a whole cast, so good luck trying to guess the murderer. Spoilers: there's a murderer in Clue.
Oh, who would have guessed?
And Hector and I just bought Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. So I've seen Mamma Mia. He has not seen Mamma Mia. So now we need to watch Mamma Mia. And then I'm going to make him watch Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again with me because I haven't seen it.
Mamma Mia. Dude, okay. Speaking of Mamma Mia,
Mm-hmm.
the daughter is getting married.
Yeah.
Total bitch for what she did.
Oh, for trying
Inviting
to
the
get
three
her to know her
maybe
dads?
for inviting her 3 maybe parent dads and not
Yeah.
telling anybody.
I mean, nobody said that she was smart. She's like 18.
She's getting married at 18?
Yeah. No, that's like a pivotal point of the movie where her mom's like, "You're 18. Why are you trying to get married so young? Chill, girl."
Oh, yeah, because her mom had her when she was very young. When her mom
Yes.
was very young, yeah.
I think her mom was older than her when she had
Oh,
her.
gosh. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Any media I've consumed recently?
Yeah, Ed, what media have you consumed? Why are you asking me? I don't know.
Nothing really new, honestly. But I did. Oh, I've been watching this anime called "The Most Notorious Talker Controls the Strongest Clan." That's the entire name of the anime on
Damn.
Crunchyroll. It's pretty good, honestly. I
Hmm.
like it because the main character is not a goody two shoes.
Hmm.
He's kind of cruel and kind of evil
Damn.
in a sense. He's very brutal. It gives some Code Geass Lelouch vibes.
Since Hector's not here, I can say a third media. I played and beat Disco Elysium recently. That's so much
Disco
fun.
Elysium.
So good.
Also, everyone here should buy Rivals of Aether 2 and play the game. It's really good. $30. All new characters will be free DLC.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. The only transactions that there are cosmetics, which are
Valid.
totally like the good way of doing microtransactions.
Yeah.
It's a platform fighter like Super Smash Bros., but actually they made it to be competitive, and it's really good. It's so much fun. It is a little bit harder to pick up than Smash Brothers, but once you get they have new player guides that tells you all the little like mechanics and tech that you can learn, and once you pick that up, it's actually pretty fun, pretty cool. If you have experience with Smash Brothers, you'll love it. Yep,
Nice.
very good game.
Yeah. I think it's Hector's turn to pick the movie.
Is it Hector's turn?
Because you
Oh yeah, because I skipped it because we had to watch 2
you
movies.
paid it in advance.
Mm-hmm. It is Hector's turn, and then it'll be your turn, and then it'll be finally my turn again.
Do you regret your decision at all?
Nope, I don't.
Okay. Will you
Apocalypse.
regret it if I do another claustrophobia movie?
No, not really. Because
I won't. For the record, I'm not
what
gonna.
it is. It is what it is.
Actually, with timing, I think it might be Hector's movie, then our Hallmark Christmas special, or mine maybe Christmas special, then you.
Yeah. It'll be either Hector's Christmas special or Hector's You Then Christmas special.
Yeah, there's gonna be a Christmas special in the mix. That has not been finalized. Elia's been watching a ton, but so far, I think our worst movie eligible bachelor is Red One.
Red One?
The really bad one with Chris Evans and Dwayne The Rock Johnson that I suggested and you both immediately vetoed.
Oh god, I just saw a trailer for that. Yeah, no, I don't want to watch it.
Still vetoing? Coward.
Not vetoing, but I really don't want to watch it.
Hector's vetoing.
Because I have my standing veto on Cats until they release the butthole cut.
Elia's helping you. She's trying to find a really good, and by good I mean bad, Hallmark movie.
Yeah, I'll also look into like Hallmark movies that came out this year and see if any of them stick out to me as something. I'm not gonna watch them. I'll just look into them and
Yeah,
see
don't pre-watch.
which one has like the most hated fucking fan base or whatever. The most hated of them all.
Yeah.
But
Anywho.
yeah, join us next time for
Whatever Hector picks.
whatever Hector picks. Insert movie here.
I'll let you know in the end credits, lovely audience. Have a good day, maybe even a night.
Yeah, or a morning.
Those are your 3 options. You
Yeah.
have to pick them.
You have to pick one. Only one.
Yes. And it's a permanent choice, just from then on.
Yeah.
We'll take backsies. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Today's film was As Above, So Below, directed by John Eric Dowdle. The writers were John Eric Dowdle and Drew Dowdle, and the cinematographer was Leo Hinston. Go show some love to their various social media accounts. They made a movie, which is more than we can say here. So that's it for spooky season, folks. No more horror movies for the time being. Just horrible movies for the foreseeable future. Speaking of, join Hector and I on a date night recording of ReShoot Dragon Ball Evolution. Goodbye.